Super ZZZ. We're here.
It's been upgraded at long last. The Super ZZZ Entertainment System.
Super Entertainment System. There we are.
Gonna,
it's not the Nintendo. It's the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
We're going to judge this thing based on the 9 categories. If you want to find out more about them, please check out the first video in the series, as well as about our power-ups that we have, which are still around here.
So this is a massive upgrade.
From the original NES, the graphical fidelity is insane, but we're not going to talk about that yet. Let's focus on the aesthetic of the console.
So we're back to still being gray.
It is big,
but
gray.
We got purple.
Got some purple accents here. A power button that slides.
Got a tongue in the middle.
Got a little tongue that ejects game cartridges. Oh, I got one over here. It's a fake Zelda game. Let's put it in. So that slides in there, and then
pops it up just a little bit just to get out.
Yeah.
Uses now we're using not just composite cables. We actually have a full adapting cable.
Yes, we have an AV multi-out, which will usually go to composite.
And then RF.
Still has RF back here. There's a little extension slot down here, which was used for the broadcast satellite view in Japan.
Yeah.
But, of course, this console looks much different in Europe and Japan.
Yes.
The Famicom design was more popular, but this is the one that we're judging because it's the one that we got here in America.
Yeah, so they also did another release of this, the SNES 2. I know it has different outputs. Like there's like things with the output and video settings because it's a cheaper made console. But the original SNES I actually don't own. I know a lot of people who do. I just don't own a normal one.
So I'm going to say this about it. I'm going to give it points in nostalgia factor for me looking at this when I see this. I think about my childhood. But you know what? As an aesthetic, I don't like it. I think it's kind of ugly.
Yeah.
I like purple. I don't like this gray and purple thing. This thing yellows.
It yellows. The tongue thing is very obnoxious.
Where's my marker?
A lot of stuff can break. And it's still light.
It's light.
But I see this console broken more than anything. Like just pieces, chunks.
I prefer the NES over it.
Yeah.
I prefer the N64 over it in terms of design.
Yeah.
A double 3
controller. All right, here we go.
Now here we're talking. So we have upgraded past the old one. We have the same similar D-pad. It's actually a little bit better of a D-pad.
Yeah.
Start and select buttons are still rubbery. They're no longer horizontal. They're diagonal. We have
4. We doubled buttons.
Two of them convex, 2 of them concave, and this introduces
some shoulder buttons.
The L and R, which are good for some.
Nice long cables still. Which
very nice. Long.
So if you're an idiot like us, you actually prefer the Super Famicom controller because they're all better buttons. There's
convex.
No concave buttons. So it's very nice and different colors instead of the moody purple. You got your full colors palette.
But this thing is the platforming god of a controller.
It's a very good controller.
If you like platformers, which the Super Nintendo had a very lot of number of, this was a great controller for it. It was also good for RPGs.
Yeah, and this controller lasts. Like I don't see a lot of broken of these controllers, like the D-pad. Maybe after a while.
Yeah, no, like you really got to work to hurt this because this has a nice ball bearing in it.
Yeah, it's a very good controller. I never see a lot of. I see them get really gross and like yellow.
This one's already getting like you got some gunk here.
Yeah, like they get gross, but that's just like if you don't clean your controller.
And it holds well. It holds really well. I have no huge issues with this as a controller.
Yeah,
I bought the controller for Super Mario Maker 2 for my Switch. That's the one that's based on this.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like, and this is like goes with games. So there's so many buttons, and like Mario you only need like literally 2 buttons essentially. So a lot of games only use 2 buttons, but then like you get it's just they didn't fully utilize all the buttons because they felt
for a lot of games.
For a lot of games, they didn't use all the buttons, so you really just back to playing like NES. Like just 2 buttons, like run, jump, kind of stuff.
I kind of disagree with that. Because I mean, like even in Mario, so you got your run, you have your jump, and then you have spin.
Yeah, it's still, but like you're not utilizing everything. You're barely ever using the shoulder buttons.
The shoulder buttons were much more rare. People don't really know what to do with shoulder buttons yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that there was an option, which I think is cool.
It was good. It was just they never did really anything with it. It's a good controller. I think it's a controller style they could have stuck with and just evolved going forward because like the classic Pro is very good and it's just very based off of that.
Oh, bye. All right, goodbye.
Like the Classic Pro and the Classic controller for the Wii.
Yes.
Just based off of that with just sticks.
Yeah.
Like they could have stuck with, like they could have done what PlayStation did. It's just stuck with the same controller type.
Yeah.
And just add just a little bit. Just make it a little more. But they drastically changed and then went back.
You know, but obviously, and that says a lot about what the SNES is, and
Yeah.
it could work. I think it's a great controller.
Yeah, I think it's their best what did I say is their best controller? I haven't rated anything. Oh, that one was very good. That's just a big upgrade. I don't care about the Switch controller.
I give it a 9.
I give it a 10.
10. Whoa!
Yeah,
Big point.
It's a banger. And like people on the Wii U bought the adapted controller, like the ones that you can plug right at the bottom, like the 50th or not the 50th anniversary, like the 20th anniversary Wii one you plug in. People were buying that for Mario Maker, like or buying they're buying the adapters just to use that controller for Mario Maker. And for Mario Maker, that controller is actually incredible.
Here, if you allow me a metaphor or a comparison here, the SNES controller is to Mario as the GameCube controller is to Smash.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you can play with other controllers, and in more modern times, they finally like started to figure themselves out.
But yeah, when you play Mario, you want a SNES controller.
But you like as
Melee,
far as classic,
you love playing with GameCube controller too. So it's just like gimmick.
The gimmick is the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it's the Super Entertainment System. They
16 bits,
bigger, better, and very much similar.
Yeah, it's the Nintendo, but it's. Shut up.
Similar.
Yeah, you're right. It's similar.
Like it made a more powerful system, better games, better looking games.
Yeah.
We're still on the 2D, top down or side scroller, mainly, and then we do have some 3D type of games like they experimented with, but it's just a more powerful version of the NES.
Yeah, I mean,
and there's nothing wrong with that. Like
it's very similar to the GameCube, where it felt like this is just it's what this is to this as that is to that. It just felt like a natural progression.
Yeah, no, it's a good it's a very good successor.
It didn't rewrite the man. Wow, these two are a pair, these two are a pair, those two are a pair. The Switch and whatever is coming up.
Whatever the Switch is.
Yeah. Wow. Huh.
Yeah, no, they just.
I gave the GameCube a 6 on gimmick.
This is a nice, powerful thing, and it had competition at the time, which we don't talk. That's something new for them, which they had Sega, the Genesis, so they were very competitive with each other, which is huge. So you had just the mega fanboys on both sides.
Yeah.
Like, so there was a good.
Guess what
system.
side I was on?
I don't know. I can't tell. Link, tell me, what side was he on?
I'm saying it's even better than the GameCube's. Like it's a thing. It's just better. It's better. It's better in every way. There's nothing that it is the Super Nintendo, and it sure was.
I didn't even grow. I
Nintendo.
didn't even grow up with this system, but I know the impact with it because I didn't have one, but like uncles and cousins had it, and I just knew how awesome this thing was. Like, I like this more than the Genesis.
Yeah.
And I had a Genesis because I was like, wow, the controller's so much better. Like, Sonic's sick. I'm never crap talk Sonic, but boy, there was a lot of fantastic games on this thing for being a gaming console.
You know,
even though they didn't sell it as a game console, they were just like, it's the Super Entertainment System.
You want to know what would have made this a 10 on gimmick? If this thing was backwards compatible with NES cartridges. Wow. Yeah, that would be really the Super Nintendo.
I know this commercial, and I'm very excited for this commercial.
All right, let's watch a commercial.
Introducing the next generation from Nintendo. New Super Mario World. Created especially for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It's a bit more exciting, a bit more challenging, a bit more graphic, a bit more colorful, a bit more realistic, a bit more levels, a bit more secret, a bit more enemies, a bit more friends, a bit more sound, a bit hotter, a bit cooler, a bit weird, a bit more revolutionary.
There they are.
More Mario, a bit more
That's what they were.
It's 16-bit, and it's yours only if you get new Super Nintendo. Now you're playing with power.
Yeah! Now you're playing with power. Super power.
They could. I wish they redid that commercial, literally with Mario Maker 2.
Oh, that would have been sick.
That would have been so sick because it works.
Oh my god, they could.
That commercial still
and then,
works.
Man, we could still make that because we just get streamers like let the gamers do the talking. Just,
Yeah.
just, ooh, ah, ah.
So Mario Master 2. I'm gonna do a plug.
Man, this is
Yeah, no, it just literally was just like
good
cool.
commercial. It showed off a lot of games too.
It showed all. I think it showed all the launch titles.
all the launch titles,
Showed them all there.
and it showed, of course, the all-star title Super Mario World.
Yeah.
And it did
It just
well.
showed really good reactions because with the NES they didn't sell it on Mario originally at all.
Yeah.
They really did not. They sold it on Rob.
Yeah.
They sold it on Rob and the light gun. But boy, did they really just like, this game's a banger. Everyone knows it. And here's the reactions of kids getting frustrated or happy and people just wanting to play this game. And then telling you got superpower if you get this thing.
That tagline. Now you're playing with power. Super power.
Electricity right across. Oh, Ocho.
Ooh, my 9's kind of fading away. Nice gradient effect. Wow. And now the release titles. Fill me in, Kampy. What do we got that comes out on release? I have a peripheral.
We got some lackluster titles.
Okay, well, tell us what we got.
We got F-Zero.
That's a good racing game. Good music.
Yeah, we got that. Gradius 3.
Isn't that a
It's a
shmup?
shmup, yeah.
Okay.
Pilot Wings, Sim City, and Super Mario World, which is the pack-in.
Yeah, Super Mario World is obviously the banger of the 5. Pilot Wings is an okay game. SimCity was much better on other platforms.
Correct. The SNES controller is trying to kill me. Anyway.
And F-Zero is all right. I think as far as lineup goes, it's not great. Mario World definitely carries it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Let's fix this some more. There we go. Yeah, the release was really... Like, the commercial, you just saw it. It literally just sold you on one. It showed everything else.
Yeah.
Like, whereas the N64 didn't, it just literally showed one game.
Mario 64, please buy Mario 64.
Yeah, like they showed only one game, but they showed the other titles real quickly on the scrolling down through it. The only other memorable game I usually say just other people buy or try is F-Zero, and if you're gonna get F-Zero, just get GX if you want to play it, and just get the GameCube version because it's incredible. Rest in peace, F-Zero.
One day.
I mean Mario World's a banger. It's a banger.
But you know how many games are in this list here?
5.
5 games are in the list.
Yeah.
It gets a 5 from me.
Man, like this console really got carried by Mario, like at the launch.
And it's understandable.
really
Mario World
did.
is the most amazing game at the time.
I have to go a little higher. 6.
6, okay.
Power. Nintendo power.
Super power,
They
dude.
literally just selling you immediately on just the power of this thing. 16 bits.
Yes. Now, of course, the Genesis.
Yeah, it was right there. Powerful.
And it had the 32-bit add-on, right?
Yep.
And
And other attachments that made it more powerful and worse. But this thing was awesome. It doubled the. It was double the power of the original.
if you look at some of the SNES games, like late SNES games, like Yoshi's Island, like
They put chips in games to make it better.
the Super Effects 2
Yeah.
chip, and please note these are games there's are chips in the games that did not. It's not the expansion pack to the N64.
Yeah, they just
it's
put it in
built
the game.
into the game.
Yeah, like they push the limits of this console.
Always.
Every game.
They
Just
made not
every
only
game.
one upgrade chip, they made 2 Super Effects 2 chip.
Yeah,
Star Fox.
Star Fox 2, which was literally almost done. But like they really pushed the boundaries that they could everywhere they could. Like not even adding on to console stuff. And that was really cool. They never did like a peripheral attachment to make it more powerful. They just put it into the game and said, this game's going to be sick. Like,
And you know what? The
really,
games were.
Yeah, they were all good. Like Donkey Kong Country games, like some of the best looking games on that console.
They still look good to this day.
Yeah, it's incredible.
You can't say that about a lot of N64 titles.
And they literally say power.
Super power. Can I write super instead of a number?
In relative terms, boy, this is the I think this is like the height for them. This is it. This is their height for like with power and everything, like just being on the cutting edge.
Wow, a 10 out of Kampy.
Yeah, their whole advertising campaign was like
Power.
just power. And it really was a powerful system, and it still very much is a very amazing system.
Yeah.
In that aspect.
Things they can pump out, like to put it in perspective, people make flashcards. They try to make things that can run other games. Up until very, very recently, the Super FX2 chips were so unique and powerful and cool that people couldn't emulate them properly.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't emulate them properly because they were so proprietary and the effects they made were so unique.
Yeah. So I definitely stand by this. Like, it's probably one of the most powerful consoles I've ever seen from Nintendo.
Yeah, like comparatively to the competition. Obviously, things like Genesis, like they put in more things. Like
they gave growths to the Genesis.
The Genesis does what Nintendo don't, but Nintendo didn't need to.
Yeah, no,
that's where it comes down to. Genesis did what Nintendo don't, but Nintendo didn't need to.
Yeah, like it was cheaper console over lifetime, and still just a very good console.
Yeah.
Peripherals, we got 3.
We had the Super Game Boy, which is like the freaking Game Boy player, but before Game Boy Advance happened. So already the SNES mouse used for Mario Paint,
banger,
and the Super Scope, which it is, honey, I grew the zapper. It's a freaking bazooka.
It really is. And if you still have yours and your batteries are still in it from the 90s, sorry, you got acid built all in that.
That's what happened to mine. It's dead. It's gone. I don't have it anymore.
Yeah. But cool peripheral. You can't use it anymore because you need an old TV. You need a fatty boy. Yeah, it's okay. The Game Boy, like a lot of people I knew didn't have the Game Boy player because they didn't have a Game Boy. A lot of people, my friends, didn't get a Game Boy until the Color.
Yeah.
And at that time, they weren't playing their Super Nintendo anymore.
Right.
So
the Super Game Boy could not play color games, right?
Yeah. I think it gave,
except for the ones that you had multi usage.
Yeah. Yeah, it was okay. So they're okay. It's a start.
It's a start. I gave it a 6 as a. You're doing it.
See, like they don't have a ton, like always a ton of accessories that are first party.
Sorry, we'll talk about that one soon.
There's a lot of third party support, and even the third party support for SNES was just lackluster. Because you just needed the console. So I don't think the peripherals peripherals sometimes will sell a console, but this time it didn't need to.
Yeah.
So I think the peripherals are actually the weakest part of this whole console. So. It's you don't need the peripherals for this thing. Top 10. Oh my god.
You do the first 5. I'll do the second 5.
Boxing title: Super Mario World. Number 2: Super Mario All Stars.
Wow, that's all 3 of the original Mario games plus Lost Levels plus Mario World and with some versions.
Yeah. Donkey Kong Country. Thank you, Rare. You want to go real fast? Super Mario Kart, which is not that fast of a game. And then you got Street Fighter 2, The World Warrior. There was 100 Street Fighter 2 games.
Street Fighter 2.
And then
Donkey Kong Country 2. Ah! I'm sorry, I'm making Vince McMahon faces over here.
You got all your favorite games. Like
A Link to the Past, Yoshi's Island, Street Fighter 2 Turbo. All right, more Street Fighter 2. That's good. And then Donkey Kong Country 3, the worst of the Donkey Kong Country games, but still good. Still good. Still good. Just not the best.
Kitty.
Who's Kitty Kong? I don't know him.
This is a list right here. There's a lot of games missing that I feel are way better.
Mario RPGs, the Final Fantasies. Freaking Chrono Trigger,
Secret of Mana.
A lot of RPGs.
Metroid, Super Metroid.
RPGs were not popular. They still are. They remain a little bit of a niche type of genre.
Super Castlevania 4, which is an incredible
Oh,
game.
yeah.
There's so many.
Kirby's, Dreamland Superstar? Dreamland?
Superstar Saga?
Whatever it is. You know the one.
Sanrio?
Sanrio!
There's so many good games that are just missing from this list, but these are all just
Super Metroid's not on here.
That's what I was saying. Metroid's not on here at all.
Wow.
And that game is very good. I played it last year for the first time, fully went through. Boy, that game is actually very good.
Can we just shoot one of the Street Fighters and Donkey Kong Country 3 and let some other friends in there?
Yeah, unfortunate that these made it in.
It's an alright top 10, but this is not a 10 out of 10. It's not even a 9 out of 10 for me.
No.
I'm going to probably give it
these
an 8.
are all, these are expected games.
They're all amazing.
Yeah. What else is missing?
I don't have my SNES Classic nearby. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think right meow. What am I thinking of? Big Boy Zelda. No, there's just so many really good games though that are just losing my mind. They're going.
I'm sorry, I don't have a SNES Classic nearby.
out the window. But yes,
I'm happy with it. 8. And now the nostalgia factor.
I don't have one, but I am buying a Super NT to have an HDMI SNES.
Yeah,
That's lagless and all crazy.
I have so much passion for this thing. This was the console I first played. The first video game I played was Super Mario World on this very Super Nintendo. In fact, this
Wow.
I think this is my childhood Super Nintendo.
That's the one your mom played Donkey Kong Country.
This is the one my mom played Donkey Kong Country on for hours while us kids and my dad were sleeping, and then she got into bed right before everybody woke up. So everybody was like, "Oh, good morning." She was like, "Oh, good morning, everybody. All right, bye. Got to school. Bye. I've got to work." Then she slept because she stayed up all night playing Donkey Kong Country. Little did she know she would inspire a generation.
Still do that to this day.
I love this console. I have a lot of nostalgia for it. I'm probably not gonna give it a 10.
Yeah. So like
This thing doesn't do a lot nowadays.
I know you really like the classic.
The SNES Classic, yes, that's an amazing little box.
You like that because it's just plug in, ready to go.
Yeah.
It doesn't require really a ton of setup, like where you need like a big fat CRT or you have to plug in FrameMeister.
Yeah.
I don't see you hook it up ever.
I hook up my Super Famicom to
Yeah.
play Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, you play one game, and then you play DKC2 if it's available.
I love DK2.
So it's like
I gotta revisit a lot of titles.
I do one trick in Link to the Past. Super Castlevania 4 I play on this. I don't own. I bought games because I bought Turtles in Time and Super Metroid, so I will be playing it more recently. I just don't have a heart for it. I can't say this is me. I didn't grow up with this.
I wrote a 7.
I'll be average. I'll be nice. I know people's got boners for this thing.
I got 4 hearts left. I'm gonna run out of things to. Actually, I know what I want to use these for, so I'm gonna.
You're gonna save them for the Switch.
I don't know who you are.
All right, I'm using 5 for nostalgia factor on you.
What? Why would you do that?
Because I don't ever see you play this thing ever. You're not that nostalgic for it.
Except
You're not that nostalgic for it. You're more nostalgic literally for the Wii and GameCube.
yeah, shut up. All right, so we're sitting at 121,
Oh my god.
and yeah, I'm throwing one of these down just for frickin' Yoshi's Island and DKC2.
Yeah.
My favorite games. Like, they're so good. Oh my god.
So what is it at? 130?
131.
So here's the list of scores of everything else. Here we go.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, no, this is like it really did get carried by like right here.
Yeah,
Just
man.
here.
The
Like,
controller.
This was pretty lackluster besides the gimmick of just being a console.
If this was the Super Famicom,
oh
oh my god, the aesthetic would be through the roof.
Yeah.
This thing would be like
yeah.
150s.
Yeah, but yeah, no, this is I figured this was gonna be the top. I still think it's gonna be the top.
We'll see. The Virtual Boy has a lot of surprises within.
I'm gonna go all my points on it just to make sure it's more than 20 points.
Everyone, please buy our shirt.
Please buy our shirt.
Die.
Yeah, like definitely please buy it. Tweet at us if you do buy the shirt and you're wearing it, because that would be sick.
Yeah, but like post it with a tier list. Like,
Yeah.
make a tier list. And
Yeah,
then,
please post your tiers. And then if you have any qualms with this, I feel like a lot of people are going to agree with some of this. I think they're going to be like, what the heck is your problem?
yeah,
What the
what the heck's your problem?
Yeah, but I feel like, yeah, let us know. Tweet at us. Talk. Like, we're always open to conversation.
Can we make it? Can we just do the Virtual Boy next and say screw it and leave the Switch for last? Because I don't want to end the main consoles on the Virtual Boy.
No, screw that. We're picking.
Well, it's my turn to pick. If I pick the Switch, I'm so mad. Can I use my heart on this? Override that decision. Okay, which one feels like a Virtual Boy? That one feels like a Switch. The Virtual Boy.
That's the Switch. Next episode, we're talking about the current generation, the Switch. Thanks for watching. Please let us know. And if you have ideas for season 3, let us know. What would you like us to rate and all that stuff?
Make it Chinese food, please. I'm hungry.
Movies.
Indiana Jones.